Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about Pat McGrath's newest addition to her Mothership line, the Midnight Sun palette. I'm going to be going over the details. I'm going to show you guys this eye look, and then I'm going to be doing a ton of comparisons because I feel like this palette definitely has more shades that are a little bit easier to dupe and then you might already have in your collection of Pat McGrath palettes if you're a collector of her palettes like I am. So first I'm going to get into the details on this, and then I will get into this look, and then the million comparisons that I have here for you. So let me go ahead and get on the Pat McGrath website. This is the box that the palette comes in. I always keep these because they have such incredible artwork. Every single one of them, I think they are beautiful. And then it has the classic case, like that really sturdy, very heavy, very luxurious case. And on the inside, these are the shades that we have. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the swatches. First, we have Skin Show Moon Glow, which is described as a luminous platinum peach, bronze eclipse, a bronze taupe sheen, vermilion venom, burnished crimson matte, blood moon 005, a metallic copper rose, jubilee, antiqued glittering gold, extreme dusk, a charcoal brown matte, taboo brown ochre matte, wicked envy, a shimmering moss green, blitz violet orchid, sparkling periwinkle violet, Astral Solstice, a glittering platinum, and then from what I understand, this is not limited edition, it's just an addition to the Mothership line, and it's $125 like the rest of the palettes. Now, when I initially heard about this palette, there was rumors about this being $5 more expensive, so I thought it was going to be $130, but that's not the case. However, she has increased the prices on most of her stuff. Like her lipsticks, I believe they used to be $38. They are now $40. Her mascara is now $30. Her smaller palettes like this used to be $55. Now, not only are they removed from the Sephora website, but they are $65. So she's done a price increase on everything, it seems, except for these palettes. So I don't know if they are eventually going to go up to the $130 price point or if she's planning on sticking with the $125. I'm not sure, but as of right now, it's $125. The description for the palette reads 10 richly pigmented shades and 7 next generation formulas highlight, line, and define the eyes for endless luxury and unlimited looks. Elevate your artistry with captivating coppers, bold bronzes, coveted crimson, glowing golds, and venomous violets. Mix and layer to create multi-dimensional effects. Each hue releases infinitely smooth and blendable pigments with uninhibited blendability. Now, that is quite the description, but it's still not as long as she usually does. So I figured I could go ahead and read that entire thing. Now, without further ado, let's get into this eye look, and then we will get into the comparisons. All right, I'm going to start off with this shade right here on a Wayne Goss number 18. I am going to apply this to the outer corner first, as I typically do. And I'm going to just tap that into place and then start working it upward. Going to be bringing it into the crease as I work it up as a transition shade. Circular motions, just really making sure to get this blended out. I'm going to take this shade on the inner corner as well. Just kind of popping it right into place in that little duck right here. I think it sounded like I said duck instead of duct. Same shade on a Wayne Goss number 20, and I'm just going to take this along the lower lash line, back and forth, inner to outer corner. Sticking with the Wayne Goss number 20, I'm going to grab that reddish matte shade. I am going to apply this to the outer portion, right over here, as well as the inner. I'm going to go back and forth to blend it. Also going to bring it into the crease. Was wondering how these shadows were going to do on top of my Anastasia primer, because usually I use these shadows and I will go in with an eye that's already, or a primer that's already set with like MAC Blanc type, but these are doing really well. It's not taking me any longer or anything like that to blend them out, and they're adhering, which I expected them to, but I did think that it might take a little bit longer to blend, and it's not. Refer number 3, same shade, going closer to the lash line. Refer P21, and I'm going to grab this shade, placing this at my brow arch, and then lightly blending outward, very lightly. Using the same brush, I'm going to grab the purple. I'm going to place this on the center of the lid. I'm using it dry. I'm going to start tapping around the edges. Taking my ring finger and this shade right here, tapping right over the center of the lid with that. I'm going to blend out the edges a little bit with just the excess, but I want the majority to be right at the lower lash in the center of the lid. Weighing Goss number 5 in the Copper Special shade. I am using this wet so I can have it just a little bit more precise. I'm going to apply this to the inner corner. Then I'm going to go off camera and add on mascara and liner. I finished off this eye look with Milk Boss liner on my top inner rim, and then I went ahead and went in with her mascara, which is the Fetishized mascara. And for my lips, I used Pat McGrath Donatella. For my thoughts on the palette, quality in of itself, it's here. It's always there. Her palettes are just undeniably amazing. Her matte formula is so extremely pigmented, but they blend out really nicely. Some people have issues with them because they are so pigmented. I've thought about doing a video on like how specifically to use these type of matte shadows. You guys let me know if you want to see that or not. I thought about doing like a right brush versus wrong brush video for her palettes. But you guys just let me know if you want to see that. I expected this to have great pigmentation and blendability, and it definitely does. For the 4 special shades that are in this palette, this is in every single one of the larger palettes like this. I'm a little disappointed in this section. This is one of the reasons why I feel like these palettes are worth the $125 is because of this section right here. Granted, all of these palettes have amazing quality, but none of them contain these special shades. So the 2 most special in this palette is this one right here and this one. And while I love both of them, they have that texture that I love. They are so intense. I feel like this shade has been done so many times, and then I have this one several times over as well. So I'm not overly excited about the shades. The actual product in of itself is amazing. They're beautiful. You are going to get a little bit of fallout with these shades because they're kind of crumbly, but worth it. They're worth it. These 2, I don't know. I feel like she kind of missed the mark. This one, I'm not a big fan of the texture of this one. It's cool. It's a nice, like, rustic kind of gold. I like the color, but I'm just not over the moon. I feel like this could have easily been one of the metallic shades down here instead of one of the special shades. This purple, I wanted it to be upped, like just a little bit more va-va-voom out of it. You can definitely see the shine. It's a beautiful shade. It's a beautiful formula. But again, it's just not as special as I expected the 4 to be down here. So for me, it's a little bit of a letdown. And I'm saying that while also saying that the entire palette is good. It's something that I feel like I'm having a little bit of difficulty explaining because I feel like quality is here. Blendability is here. Pigmentation is here. It is a great palette in terms of quality, but I'm having difficulties with this section right here not being as special as I wanted it to be, and then with these shades up here feeling like I have them already in other palettes. And I am a Pat McGrath lover when it comes to her shadows. I always buy her palettes. I always get excited whenever they come out, but I'm also always honest, and I have to be honest with the fact that I'm glad I have this in my collection. It's not something that I want to get rid of or that I want to take back or anything like that, but just being honest with you guys, do I think that you need this? No. This is my least favorite out of all of the ones that I have, just based on colors and these shades down here being a slight disappointment. That's really all I can say. Like I said, it's just a little bit difficult for me to say because it's good product, just a little bit underwhelming. I like my eye look. I really do. I think it's beautiful, but I do feel like I could get it at least a very similar one with the other palettes. So I'm going to stop with this and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the comparisons. As I'm showing you guys these side by side, I will also be showing you guys swatches. I'm only going to be swatching though the shades that I find to be similar in both of the palettes. And I'm always going to have the new palette swatched first in each of the little sections. So first off, I'm going to put it right up against my favorite of all of the Mothership palettes, which is the Bronze Seduction. So let's see if I can get this. If you'd like to see those swatches a little bit longer, I will leave them at the end of the video. Now, to answer the question as to whether or not this is Pat McGrath's first dud, I can't say dud because I feel like that insinuates that it is a bad product. It is not a bad product. The shades work very well. They work just like all the other Pat McGrath shades I have used in the past, so I can't call it a dud. However, I can say that it's my least favorite of the bunch, and that it doesn't necessarily strike any kind of like inspiration. I looked at this for quite a while before I decided what to do, just because I know I have so many of these shades and I was like, I've done so many looks. I wanted to do something a little bit different, but it was hard for me to think about something different to do. So there's that. Anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you plan on picking this palette up, or if you're completely opposite ends of the spectrum with me. If you think that this is the best palette she has put out and you just absolutely love it, let me know. Hey, everyone's different. I love to hear you guys' thoughts, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.